Dinosaurs ruled the Earth for 165 million years. That's 165 million years of thundering herds of herbivores, terrifying predators, and some truly bizarre creatures that we can't even imagine. But then, 66 million years ago, they all went extinct. Okay, except for birds, of course. Birds are dinosaurs. They just didn't get the memo. But what caused this mass extinction? In other words, how did the dinosaurs go from this to this? Well, the most popular theory is that an asteroid or a comet slammed into Earth and wiped out all life. And sure, that's a great story and it makes for some fun movies, but there's more to it than that. Let's dig into the fossil record and separate the asteroid's impact from the volcano's impact. Hey there, welcome to my channel. The age of dinosaurs was brought to us by the Triassic Period, which began 252 million years ago. This era gave way to the Jurassic Period, which kicked off 201 million years ago, and then the Cretaceous, which started 145 million years ago. These three periods are known as the Mesozoic era, or as many of us affectionately call it, the dinosaur era. The Mesozoic was a time of dramatic change. Continents moved, oceans formed, and new species evolved. But during this time, the reign of the dinosaurs began, and they dominated the planet until the end of the Cretaceous period, when they all went extinct, except for birds. Now, in order to understand what may have caused this mass extinction, we need to take a closer look at the end of the Cretaceous. The end of the Cretaceous was not marked by a single monumental event, but rather a series of unfortunate events that happened over a span of about 300,000 years. First, there was an asteroid. Scientists say that an asteroid about 6 miles or 10 kilometers in diameter crashed into Earth. We know this because there is a giant crater in Mexico that is 110 miles or 180 kilometers wide, 1.6 miles or 2.5 kilometers deep. It's called the Chicxulub crater, and it's pretty much the same age as the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. So it's a good bet that this big space rock is what scientists are referring to when they talk about the asteroid impact. But while the asteroid was definitely a major player, the end of the dinosaurs might have been more of a series of unfortunate events. You see, before the asteroid showed up, the end of the Cretaceous was already looking pretty bleak. During the last few million years of the Cretaceous, massive amounts of lava poured out of volcanoes in what is now India. These volcanoes are part of the Deccan Traps, and they were responsible for spewing 1.5 million cubic kilometers of lava. For some scale, Mount St. Helens in Washington state has a volume of 35 cubic kilometers. So these volcanoes erupted about 43,000 Mount Street, Helens worth of lava. The lava flows covered huge areas of the Indian subcontinent and released massive amounts of greenhouse gases and ash into the atmosphere. Meanwhile, at the same time, sea levels were dropping, perhaps due to the formation of the Isthmus of Panama. Falling sea levels can have a major impact on global climate and ocean currents, which would have affected weather patterns all over the world. The Deccan eruptions, falling sea levels, and asteroid impacts likely all played a part in the mass extinction. But the asteroid impact was definitely the cherry on top. The impact caused earthquakes, tsunamis, a global dust cloud, and rising temperatures, which led to rapid climate change. After the impact, it got so hot that the tropics became uninhabitable, leading to a mass extinction that wiped out about 75% of all plant and animal species. With the ecosystem in shambles, there were fewer resources available and only animals that could adapt to the rapidly changing environment survived, and one group of animals that was well suited to the post-asteroid world was mammals. They were small, less than 100 kilograms, nocturnal, and mostly insect eaters. They had been around for about 200 million years, but their time in the Cretaceous was mostly spent living in the shadow of the dinosaurs. But with the dinosaurs gone, mammals were free to diversify and conquer the land. In 66 million years later, one lineage of primates would give rise to humans. So thanks, asteroids. So while it might be fun to imagine a giant space rock wiping out all the dinosaurs in a single fell swoop, the reality is more complicated. It was probably a series of unfortunate events that also paved the way for the rise of mammals and eventually us. Thanks for watching this episode, if you liked it. You might like the episode where we talk about the mammals that were around during the age of dinosaurs. You can watch that here.